Ahoy, shipmates! Oh, it's always trial and error with technology. In case it seems to be more errors. Oh. Talking to myself. Okay, right. Back to ship business. Ahoy, Barry Skeets. How you doing? Oh, thank you, Hooty. That's good to know. It's good to know. Right. I guess a ship arriving, weren't we? She's pretty much 6 o'clock was the due time, and she's, I would say about 5 or 10 minutes away from the dockhead. Won't be visible for a little while. I thought I would start anyway, as I'm all geared up. It's a pity that she didn't arrive a couple of hours earlier. It was a really wonderful sunset this evening. Lovely clouds drifting past the Harbour House building here to our left. Put me in mind of certain Monets. See a tugboat? Incredible eyesight. Ahoy, Etienne. How you doing? Hello, Tiggy Story Hour and Gaming. Very long username. We'll zoom in a bit, but I'm pretty sure we won't be able to see anything. But look. Yeah. What we really need to see is through that building there, but it's just impossible. Or maybe I could get my camera mounted top of here. Give me a stupendous view. That's not my building. That is the red Kestrel that we can see there, moored up. And, as always, the regular return feature that constantly moored in port, the Romolde Grande Europa. Apparently, show you here, this one here, apparently suffered some mechanical difficulties and has been in port now for, well, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks. Rather annoyingly, blocks the view of the cruise ships. Ahoy, SLS Gaming. Ahoy, Steph P. Hello, Owen. Good evening to you. It's a cursed ship. Yeah, I mean, I would love to know what's actually wrong, because it's a significant time in port. There's a little tugboat down there, isn't there? That is. Well, let's have a quick check. Now, if I was clever, bring up the map screen, but I'm not prepared. I was busy editing photos from the HMM Oslo that went out earlier. I should drone her. Again, marvellous condition. Oh, it's getting pretty close. Probably think 5 minutes, maybe 7 or 8. Yes, like I say, I was out there droning the HMM Oslo. I've just been back in my cabin making the video. Got carried away, and I'm not prepared enough. Oh, it's the Svitsahati, is it? I wonder where she's going then. Yeah, clearly Steph P has got the power of the tug. That's the Queen Elizabeth Terminal down there, Queen Elizabeth II Terminal. Oh, I think I could see something. There we go. He's deceiving me. Oh, definitely see something. I'm thinking that's something in the container ship. Oh, it's quite large, it's quite tall. CMA CGM LOUIS BLERIOT is 400 meters long, so similar in length to the HMM Oslo that went out earlier. But capacity-wise, nowhere near capacity. What is the capacity? Yeah, only 20,900, whereas the HMM Oslo, I think, was in the 23,000 range, so quite a big difference. So I don't know if you can see the little white things moving around. They're actually seagulls. And the nighttime shutter on the camera, because it's actually quite dark out there, sort of blurs their path and makes them look, looks like fireworks or something buzzing around. But we should get a better view when she comes in, and she's going to come by because she's going all the way down to the container terminal at the far end of the port, so we'll get a good view as she comes past. Draft of 12 meters. Pretty impressive. I think Hoof 2001, that's exactly what Benny Hill would say. I don't know, Joshua Taylor. I suspect it's down in Torquay for repairs. They've been, I think it was in Falmouth the other day. I'm sure one of the knowledgeable shipmates will tell you. There we go. The CMA CGM company actually names quite a lot of its container ships after French, I was going to say pioneers, but they're more like adventurers and aviators and sort of famous people in history. Louis Charles Blériot was a French aviator, inventor, and engineer. Born in 1872 and died in 1936. A real pioneer of aviation. Setting many records and making planes where they wouldn't normally go. But we're going to get a clearer view here. Ah, there we go, see. Thought she was in Falmouth for maintenance, the old red funnel. I am impressed with the quality of this camera. She doesn't actually look that full of containers, but I wonder if that's due to a global container shortage. I was reading earlier that what used to cost about £2,500 to ship a 40-foot container from China is now costing about £10,000. It's due to a shortage of containers. I mean, you wouldn't think it, would you? But apparently it's a problem. Looks like the tug at the front there is taking up the slack. Thanks, Lee, for drumming up support. I know some of the other channels and webcams don't like you talking about other channels and webcams. I don't know why, personally. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I know people watch other things. I can't expect them to watch the live cam all the time. Ah, Steph P, do they come in completely full of... Yes, sometimes they really do. Sometimes they are very full of containers. I mean, you can tell, for instance, that the Louis Bleriot here is not full because you can see the... she's quite a long way out of the water. Obviously, you can see the lack of containers on board. Yes, sometimes they really are very full. So full, you wonder how they can drive without running over things in front of them. Ahoy, Billy Hooey. An ex-mariner. Marvellous. I'm sure you could give us lots of strategic information. Yeah, Steph P. Well, I think Oslo left empty because as a country, we don't actually manufacture many goods. We tend to import more. So most of the container ships tend to leave on the emptier side. I suspect SLS Gaming, there are lots of boring things inside the containers. Most of the time, goods and parts, toilets, all those exciting things. I think we get a good view here of the town keep here, just how enormous these ships are when they completely dwarf the buildings here. Yeah, I think there's a lot of computerization in the location of the containers. I'm just wondering, what did they do before computers? You must have had to have a lot of paperwork, and the mind boggles. Oh, ahoy, Steve Etienne Lebev Robertson. Oh, that's a mouthful. Yes, as you can see, she's quite clearly a long way above the buildings here. You'll probably also be aware of the red lights on top. There are 3 red lights on top of the container ship, and these indicate to all other ships that she is constrained by her draft. As my trainer said to me, it means they're big, get out of my way. The tug's pulling hard here. A nice look at the bow here. Interesting straightness to just above the bulb. A wall of containers. Yeah, there's a good deal of lights on, that's for sure. You can't miss her. We had one container ship go past the camera the other day. Just as they got to the camera, they turned all the lights on. We were guessing that they wanted to be on the camera, but I'm not sure the case. I'd like to think so. Yep, classic lines for a container ship. Jackie Yoxon. Is that Fishbourne? No, this is Southampton. So big, I'm going to have to zoom out a bit. That's how much lens you need. You can see now quite how dark it is. There was quite a kerfuffle here in the ferry port the other evening. Now, I didn't get to see it because I was just finishing the filming the Aurora, but there was a undercover police sting. Car came into the car park. 30 seconds later, 4 or 5 police cars came in, surrounded them, handcuffed them, took them away. Job done. Knows what went on there. Oh, I'm very envious of you, Lee. I would love to go on a tour of a container ship. No, they're not to everyone's taste, but I really enjoy the mechanics and engineering of it, the scale. You can actually book up passage on container ships. Container ships have quite a lot of accommodation that's not always used. There are many companies selling space on container ships, but it's actually more expensive flying. I was looking to go to New York, and I thought to myself, well, okay, why don't we go on a container ship? And it was, I don't remember the exact price, but I think it was about 2 or 3 times the price of flying. And of course, it takes quite a bit longer. I went off the idea. But the other day, I did see one that went around Europe, up into to Norway and Scandinavia. That I thought was good value for money. Oh, Kevin's already posting the link to the bust. In fact, this is the widest my camera goes, and I can only just fit in both tugs and the ship. So that's how big it is. I must look up this journey. So it wasn't that expensive, but it was 25 days. It actually leaves the Port of Southampton, goes all the way up to Scandinavia, stopping off at lots of different locations, and then comes back again. And I thought that sounded really wonderful. Think of all the exciting videos I could make on that. Oh dear, Steph P, your microwaving knocks out your Wi-Fi. That's unfortunate. Oh, looks like we've got a broken down vehicle in the car park here. What's going on here then? Nope, can't work out what he's doing. And this newly installed floodlight is also irritating. Before it was a sodium one or something. It was more of a conventional lamp, but this new one is LED based. Sure, it's better for the environment and uses less electricity, but it's very bright. Gets in the way. There we go, just to make sure it's the ship we're looking at, the CMA CGM LOUIS BLERIOT. A letter. He's registered in Malta. And which tug do we have at the rear? Look. I think perhaps going on a tug would be fun as well, wouldn't it? A little trip on a tug. See the port from a different angle. There's a whole wall of containers behind over there, so I don't really understand quite where the shortage is. The information I've been led to believe. And then we can see at the bottom is STC5, the container port, where HMM Oslo was. She's gone. So yes, that would be my accommodation if I was to travel somewhere. Up here in the, I don't know what you call that part, the bridges at the top, but I guess the bridge and the accommodation. No Twitch. This is not the biggest ship in the world. I don't know how big she is in the stats of largest ships, but I suspect probably not even in 10. No, they don't stay in the top 10 for very long. She's number 8. She's 8th largest cruise ship in the world. Well, bigger is a subjective term because the HMM Oslo was actually the same length. They're both 400 meters long. The difference is the number of containers on board. This one has about 21,000 containers, whereas the HMM Oslo is 23 and something or other. 20, yeah, just over 23,000. It's only the second largest. I'm really waiting for HMM Southampton to arrive. I think that'd be marvellous. See if we can see any ship. I'm getting light reflection on the lens. Sometimes you can see shipmates here on the back tying the lines up. I don't think we can see anyone on there today. How impressive is that? How many containers wide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20, 21, 22. 24 containers wide. That for that some makes the big difference from what I've led to believe when they add in extra width. It's quite calm out there this evening, getting some nice reflections off the water. Yeah, the visibility's coming in a bit. It looks a bit hazy. And I hear they're forecasting snow for tomorrow. Oh. Will we see her dock? Yes, we will. We will, Jackie. We will see her dock. She will carry on where she's going at the moment. She'll disappear slightly off to the right-hand side of the screen, behind the Norwegian Encore cruise ship, or in front of, I should say. And then she'll swing around with the aid of the tugs, and they'll push her in. And it'll probably take quite a while. Is at the Svitzer Bargate. been snowing in Norfolk, Dew Bottle. Oh, well, thanks for that. I thought the forecast was, I have to say, a little optimistic with the snow. But frequently, very rarely snows in ports here. Yeah, some great reflections on that water, isn't there? Oh, look over here. These cranes will be in operation. Oh, there's plenty of seagulls around. Of course, I probably should tell you where she comes from. Depends, wouldn't it? She's from Hamburg in Germany. Still snow in Lincolnshire. Wow. Snow in Sheffield. Well, thanks for the update around. Well, there is quite a lot of snow around. Perhaps I'm wrong then. Perhaps the weatherman doesn't know what he's talking about. Perhaps there will be some snow. Yes, as you can see, she's just sneaking behind her. Little sort of yellowy bits you can see at the back of the Louis Bleriot is the Norwegian Encore. How deep is the water? Well, I don't actually know how deep the water is, but what I can tell you is it's navigable for up to 16 metres, guaranteed. That's as large a draft as you find. I'm guessing it's probably deeper than 16 metres. As tides make no difference, there's no effect with the tide here. As the tide goes up and down, the water is still navigable. Yeah, there's a lot of light here in the container port. Absolutely right, Andrew. A bit of activity in Mayflower Park as well. Yep, 12 metres on this ship. I think some of the larger ones are a little bit lower, but pretty sure they guarantee 16 metres in the port to 18 metres. I'm not sure. Not something I need to worry about in my little dinghy. Ahoy, Matt. Yes, Jeff Donovan, that's right. She will be berthing, so it's quite a quick in and out, really, isn't it? HMM Oslo left at 2:30, and she's arriving at 6:30. That's no rest for the wicked in the docks, is there? Ahoy, Peter Gibbs. Oh, I think we're seeing the... Yes, I can see... That's right, I can see the bow turning now. Quite gone out of sight. Glimpse down the port side. There you go. You can see that. Ahoy, Chris Digsdale. This will be a lot more exciting in the summer when it's a bit lighter. And you just see the tug front. That's bar gate at the front. Fitz Ferriby at the back. And Fitz for Harty shoving from the side. That's Fitz Harty at the side. Starting to rotate. Yes, I think you're right, Hoofty. There's one. I do like the lights, but It'd be nice to a bit more warmth and daylight. Ahoy, Andrew Gin. Yep, this is a good lockdown activity. There we go. It's a Bargate's giving a good old pull round. Quite impressive, really, when you think about it. The amount of ship there, 400 meters long, 30 odd meters wide. Probably weighs, well, an awful lot. Certainly when I droned the HMM Oslo evening this afternoon, I believe I got some good action of the rudder. Hi, Jackie. Well, actually, I think this is only the second or third time I've tried it. I have tried live streaming when I'm droning, but it does take a lot of brain power. It's quite taxing enough flying the drone as it is without trying to remember facts and figures of ships. So, but this way I can be in my cabin with the information to hand and still show you some ships. Ahoy, Andy Woodward. Frosty Leicestershire. I haven't quite finished it yet, Tooth. I was working on it, and I'm now doing this. I'm probably finish it tomorrow. I will be needed in the galley after this broadcast. I have special dispensation to be out of the galley at the moment. I'm finished with the galley. I will probably pick a nice book to read. Settle down for the evening. Finish the drone video tomorrow. Alright, let's go. What drone I use? Well, I've got a couple of drones. Most of the time I use a DJI Mavic Pro 2 and also have the Mavic Air. Mavic Mini. Very good. In fact, I think the Mavic Mini is really good. Very competitively priced. The Mavic Pro 2 gives better quality. Quite sure what you're asking there, Michael Healy. Any overport ships come in? I think if you're asking are there any ships coming in, there's just this one at the moment. But we do have lots of ships in and out of the Port of Southampton. Oh, well, aboard, ladies and gentlemen, to this static flight around the Port of Southampton. We will be going nowhere and arriving very shortly. Well, that would be a lovely job being an airline pilot. Although not at the moment, I'm guessing. There's a lot going on. Okay, she's really starting to turn now. Yeah, there are quite a few spaces where the containers should be. Not as full as she could be. Ah, yes, the YM and the Argo Lycos. Yeah, I see what you mean about being tall. Yeah. Well, Chris, she's just going here. She's just going to the port. She's just arriving. So. Oh, pilots driving HGVs. I guess that's a needed job, isn't it? So that makes sense. That's regarding the height. That's one bit of information that not readily available, and that's the air draft of the vessels. If you talk about a vessel, it has obviously length and width, but also it has a draft, which is how deep it is in the water. But there's also air draft, which is how high it is in the water. Not often you need to know your air draft, but depending on the size of ship and where you're going, you might have to go under a bridge. Those structures. And then knowing your air draft is incredibly important. Chris, she's come from Hamburg, Germany. Rotterdam, the Netherlands, really? I look at the wrong thing. Easily distracted. Oh, pretty sure it's Hamburg. She'll be totally under the assistance of the tugs. Definitely, you've got candy canes left over from Christmas. Blimey. Gold Dalek who? PS5s. Funny, you're not the only person to mention that. Someone else mentioned it before, and to be honest, I didn't actually know what a PS5 was. I assumed it was some sort of engine or something quite complicated, but of course it's PlayStation 5. Naivety shining through again. Yes, I met a couple of shipmates in Mayflower Park. They recognised Rusty the dog. That's what they were waiting for, PS5s to arrive. I'll have a little go if I can zoom in a little bit on these tugs, but I think it's too dark, really. Yeah. You can see the arrow quite clearly, though. The side of the ship indicating where to tug, where to give them a push. Yes, he's a very popular dog. I can't go for a walk anywhere without attracting lots of attention. Oh, hello, I pressed a button. There we go. What's going on the back? What's going on the rear? At the stern. Yeah, it's just a little bit too dark, isn't it? The controls for the camera are quite sensitive. Sometimes you click the mouse and not much happens, and sometimes you click the mouse and it jumps off miles to the left. Ahoy, Keith from Central Illinois in the USA. What's the weather like in Central Illinois? Well, at Peter, she was using STC5. Does it have a trench? I don't know. Don't know what a trench is with regards to berths. Michael Healy, how long does it take to get to the UK? Well, that's a very good question. I shall tell you how long it's been out. And it does cross in front. It does cross the Dover Straits. How long has this taken? He left yesterday at just past midnight, and now she's here. So about 32 hours. Pretty reasonable, isn't it? Ahoy, David P.S. You're going to give the camera a wave when I pass in a few days. Excellent. We like a waver. Keeps all of the shipmates keen, eyes peeled. Well, at Peter, you must know more about this than I do, but there's no problems here. I think if there was a problem with tides, they wouldn't be berthing. As far as I'm aware, there is no problems with tides anywhere in the Port of Southampton. Constantly being dredged as well, with quite a few of the dredgers. You're going to Le Havre on the 25th. How are you getting to Le Havre, Steve Etienne Lebeve Robertson? Going by ship? Ferry? Your own ship? Oh, Stephanie Broussard from NASA Mission Control City in USA. Florida somewhere then. Is that NASA Mission Control? I'm not sure where that is. Well, I think that just about concludes this evening's arrival. I shall leave the stream running, but I'm pretty sure that my presence is required in the galley. So, till next time, shipmates.